So I'm traveling to Iceland, northern Iceland, a city named Akureyri, for a 2-week study abroad program to study climate change. And then I'm staying 2 weeks after that 2-week program to be an intern at the Icelandic Arctic Cooperation Network. And I'll be developing skills in grant writing and interviewing people for my honors thesis as well. I chose Iceland because it is already facing challenges of climate change, and that's what I'm studying, so I'd like to go there and see what they have seen happen and what they've done in result to that. So a big thing that we are learning with our faculty that are going with us is that it's very important to do a lot of research about the place that you are visiting and be able to know exactly where you are and know a little bit about the culture and the history, current events, political parties and things about the place that you're going to, so that you know where you are, you know how things work, you're not lost, you're not one of those Americans that are viewed as ignorant or unprepared. So it's very important for us to know a whole lot about the culture and a lot about the geography before we even go, so that we are knowledgeable and we can present ourselves in a way that doesn't make our university or our country look bad. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we need to be able to draw Iceland freehand and draw where we are going to go, so kind of draw our itinerary on there, and we have to draw our where the glaciers are, where the main roads are, just so that we know where we are and that we know Iceland. We also have to think of a phrase in Iceland, or in Icelandic, and we have to at least know one phrase in Icelandic and know 3 current events and 3 historical events in Iceland, so that we are prepared culturally for that. So since they have glaciers, they can see firsthand the melting of them. They have a new species of fish that is there now that didn't used to be, that migrated there because it's getting warmer there, so they can live there now. They can grow trees more often than they were able to before, and so I think that they've seen a lot more changes than a lot of the other countries. If you go out and ask probably a random Icelander, they would say like, yeah, heck yeah, we like global, we like climate change because it's getting warmer here, and we kind of dig that. But there's also the idea that the stream that runs around Iceland or whatever, that makes it more temperate and for people to be able to live on it. Climate change has the potential to shift that stream. So if that happens, then it might do the counter opposite, and Iceland could freeze over, and that would not be the best situation for the people on Iceland. I had to apply to about every scholarship that there was for me to apply for, and that was a difficult process in itself because it's a separate essay, multiple essays for each scholarship, and then you have to pretty much professionally beg for money, and it's not a fun thing to do. And then I also worked a lot over last summer and saved up a lot of money. I haven't really spent any money on anything other than the bare necessities in the past year, so that I can go on this trip. So the entire program cost and the flight and the housing for the program and my internship is covered through scholarships. So out of my pocket is the flight to Boston and from Boston to get to the group flight that leaves from Boston to go internationally. And then I'll also have to pay for food while I'm there, and then a couple of nights stay before I come back after my interview's over. I'll have to pay for that out of pocket. So not a whole lot out of pocket considering the cost. So I hope to gather a lot of data for my honors thesis titled "Using a Scenario Planning Approach to Assess How the Fishing Industry in Iceland is Preparing for Climate Change." And so I will be touring fisheries and speaking with business leaders within the fishing industry and seeing if they have any plans in place for the changes in climate, if they've seen effects already, and how they're planning for more and maybe larger impacts that might come. And so I will be hopefully gathering a lot of data on that, and I hope to learn about, in the internship I'm going to be doing a lot of grant writing, so I hope to develop a lot of skills in that. My kind of tutor that I've been assigned to during the program is Captain Rick Fest, I think is how you pronounce his last name. He was a captain on the TV reality series Deadliest Catch, and he is going to be my person to learn about fisheries and how that works, and how he's already seen changes in the climate affect his business, and so he's going to be teaching me a lot about that, and in return I'm going to be teaching him a lot about this thing called the $100 solution, which is kind of like a service learning type of paradigm.